Chris Barth is there on duty, and Chris, I understand they're looking forward to this big event tonight.
They certainly are, Gary, and as you can see here behind me, the troops are streaming into the stadium. Some of them, of course, are going to miss out, and when performers realised that, they turned last night's sound check into a mini concert.
For a couple of hundred Aussie troops, a sneak preview of tonight's Tour of Duty concert. These soldiers can't make tonight's performance. They'll be standing guard, so thousands of others can. The sound check, a performance in its own right. And other troops who won't be able to be there were also reminded they weren't forgotten. Kylie Minogue made a special trip to Balibo, near the border with West Timor. Everywhere they go, the reception is rapturous. 3,000 Interfet troops and 6,000 East Timorese have been invited to watch the Tour of Duty concert. From early afternoon, thousands more packed every vantage point around Dili Stadium. The final preparations also drew a crowd. They watched fascinated as Channel 7 production crew readied tonight's broadcast. Despite the presence of thousands of Interfet troops, security in Dili is always an issue. And this week, our soldiers have been especially vigilant. For several days, they've been practising rapid response tactics to meet any threat. Lieutenant Colonel Roger Joy is the man in charge.
But we now have the additional responsibility of the artists. We have it, I think, fairly well tied up. We're not expecting any trouble, but we've taken all the precautions necessary to ensure that nothing can happen.
Pride of place will go to our troops. This concert is for them. It's Australia's way of saying thank you, you are not forgotten. And with a star-studded cast, there is something for everyone.
Doc Neeson and Gina Jeffrey's always been a big fan of Gina's. I can't say Johnny anymore, it's John Farnham.
And for the locals, a special treat, the Dili All-Stars. In Dili, East Timor, Jeff Parry, 7 Nightly News.
Like the troops, a short time ago, the performers began arriving, and we spoke to HG and Roy, who are going to host tonight's concert.
Well, it's a dream come true, simply to be here. Whether we do any good from here on in remains to be seen. You'll have to ask us in about 14 hours' time. No, to try to get this right.
And it's good to have an audience that marches in.
Yes, we saw
a regimental bloody audience.
There should be more of it.
No, they're ordered to clap. They're ordered to enjoy themselves.
Rock and roll people should start marching now.
Yes. They're under orders. You will enjoy yourself. Otherwise, you'll bloody stay here forever.
Thanks, guys. That's all from here for the moment, Gary, but a little later in the bulletin, we'll have news on Operation Teddy Bear.
Thanks very much, Chris. Here at home...
As you can see, they're even coming in by chopper. Now, this has been an enormous logistical exercise, as you can imagine. Trying to get John Farnham and Kylie Minogue on their own would be feat enough. But to get all the bands here, to get the stage up and set, to get all the troops here and all the locals to enjoy this concert is a real feat in itself. Now, the concert, though, has actually been on the road. It's not just in Dili. They've taken it out into the highlands. David Richardson was there to give you this sneak preview, a behind-the-scenes look at Tour of Duty.
They knew they'd be recognised by our troops, but no one expected a reaction like this from the locals in Swai.
I know the soldiers have G'd these guys up. This is fantastic. Yes!
It was the first stop in the unplugged mini concerts across East Timor. The troops eager for some Aussie Christmas cheer. Oh, and a Kylie souvenir.
I still call Australia no, it's pretty amazing. I mean, these guys have obviously G'd these folks up, and I mean, they've got no idea who we are, what we do, but it was lovely. The reaction between the locals and the soldiers is just fantastic. What about every man, woman and child that we passed waved?
You wonder why people do this shit to each other, you know, and then to know that you've got Australians and Kiwis and everybody here sorting it out, it just makes you incredibly proud.
For the Stars, work began at dawn. Air Force flights. Kylie on the flight deck. The others resting, knowing the long day ahead.
Bloody hot. No, very, very warm.
That was the understatement of the year. Doc Neeson became the first casualty.
Folks, it's not bullets, it's the heat. And what can I say? The show was so hot I started to melt.
Heat or not, Timorese enclave in West Timor are nervous at all, imagine how John Farnham and his band felt. If they were nervous, it didn't show.
I'm not waiting any longer. You know that I'm playing to win this time.
Thank you, everybody. You've been fantastic. Be good, be careful. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Some of Australia's leading entertainers taking the stage in Dili tonight for East Timor's peacekeeping troops. Several thousand soldiers and locals are attending. The performers well and truly ready after last night's rehearsal turned into an impromptu concert.
It started out as a technical rehearsal, but for a handful of lucky Aussie troops, it became so much more as the entertainers gave it their all. After a day on the road, the stars of the Tour of Duty concert gave a sneak preview of what's in store tonight. With weapons slung over their shoulders, they partied late into the night. John Farnham quick with the one-liners.
I'm going to top and tail a few songs, which means I'm going to start them and then finish them real quick, which is not unusual at my age, apparently.
But he was there to sing, and sing he did. Song after song. Things were definitely heating up. One by one, they were put through their paces, Kylie Minogue stealing the hearts of her camouflaged fans. And there's no doubt they'll enjoy tonight's performance. Not to be left out, the Royal Military College Band giving a hit song the big band treatment. And it was up to the military's own Rachel Starkey to remind us all why this concert is so important. Unfortunately, most of these soldiers won't see tonight's performance, duty coming first.
It'd be good to be here, but, you know, you gotta work.
The musical instruments are tuned, the vocal cords are primed, Dili is set to rock and roll. It's a far cry from recent times here at the stadium, when it was a refugee camp and medical clinic for thousands of East Timorese. The event here, another sign of how far this city has come since the chaos of September. In Dili, Simon Boda, National 9 News.
Hello, thanks for joining us as the big names of Australian show business take to the stage in Dili to entertain our troops. Our special report on that concert in a moment. Plus, the mum so desperate to marry off her bachelor son, she advertised for a wife and even went along on the first date. But first to the Tour of Duty concert for our servicemen and women keeping the peace in East Timor. Since September, almost 5,000 Australians have been there in dangerous and difficult conditions as the lead force in the Interfet operation under the command of Major General Peter Cosgrove. And most will still be there well into the new year. Tonight, Australia says thank you to those men and women in a concert they'll never forget. Headlined by John Farnham and Kylie Minogue, it's the first time since the days of the Vietnam War that Aussie entertainers have performed for our troops abroad. Scott Bevan with this special preview.
You can get a quarter of the feel and the vibe that's happening here. It's going to knock you down. It's incredible.
This is one of those rare days where the precision of the military meets the passion of the music industry.
Oh, this is Phil
Cosgrove.
Peter Cosgrove.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming over here.
My privilege to be here.
Yeah, I believe it's been going sort of gangbusters.
It's the most eye-opening day I've had for a very long time.
Men and women from different worlds professionally have been coming together in Timor over the past few days, all on a tour of duty.
Well, hopefully it'll give them the impression that at least, well, 99.9% of people back at home are thinking about it.
While the mission for 5,000 Australian troops has been to work in gruelling, dangerous conditions for months, bringing peace to a ravaged land, the musicians' mission has been to give our soldiers a few hours break from all of that.
Well, it's an emotional issue. I mean, you know, these guys are working in extreme circumstances. Extreme luxury for these guys, the porcelain toilet.
Taking it for probably the last 4 or 5 days to get this up. Got most of it up in one day.
Overseeing the nuts and bolts of the exercise for the armed forces has been Lieutenant Colonel Roger Joy.
To put something like this together on top of continuing with our existing logistics was an immense task, but a very enjoyable one.
Locals and soldiers like Lieutenant Matt Anderson have been working together, preparing the stadium. Matt, what do you think this concert means for the troops?
Well, I think it's a good chance for everyone to sort of get out and enjoy Christmas, and certainly it's something different for the guys who've been out patrolling and doing it pretty hard over the last couple of months.
While the Dili concert's been taking shape, the performers have been doing unplugged gigs for troops stationed in outlying areas of Timor.
Lovely to meet you. Lovely to meet you.
Comedians and the concert's compères, Roy Slavin and H.G. Nelson, have been getting out as well, taken by UNICEF to meet those the soldiers have been trying to secure a future for.
Hello, Roy and H.G.
Roy and HG have been handing out badly needed educational materials from UNICEF's School in a Box. And they've also been generous in handing out their view of the concert's worth.
The other thing it does do, I think, Scott, is showcase to the people of Timor some world-class acts. Not so much HG and myself, I mean, we're rubbish. But world-class acts. You've got Johnny Farnham. You've got Kylie Minogue.
No.
These are names that open doors throughout the world. Yeah. Doc Neeson. Gina Jeffries. Scott, I can see you're bloody excited. You're almost exploding. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
World-class act. Well, that's showcased here to the people of Dili in particular, the people of East Timor.
Not that the stars need humbling by Roy and HG. This whole experience has already done that. Just ask the man proudly wearing his new military shirt, James Blundell.
I certainly feel myself, and I think the rest of us feel the same, performance-wise, is that these people are carrying rifles so we don't have to, you know, and I'd sing for them all day, and I know the rest of us feel the same, you know.
Nobody wanted you to sign their armoured personnel carrier or anything like that, did they?
They might have, but I didn't.
Okay, yeah.
No, we've been running so late all day that
yeah.
we wanted to get here.
I think you just got chased in by the rain. This is pretty typical, this weather we got at the moment. Yeah.
But I've had an incredible day so far.
Good. All right, so long as we haven't damaged you.
No.
Okay.
And the soldiers' favourite photo opportunity, Kylie Minogue.
Just meeting the guys and girls and seeing what they do, I'm in awe. It's just an amazing day so far. Well, it makes me very proud as an Australian, for one thing. And I would almost say after, you know, seeing the operation here and meeting the people and hearing some of their stories, that our part in it is so small, but if it takes their mind off things for a day and gives them some entertainment, and I think it's good for Australian morale in general.
Well, the day of the concert is finally here and just about everything seems to be in place. More than 140 tonnes of equipment, kilometres of cabling. But what nobody wants to see come in centimetres is the rain. But every afternoon over those hills, the dark clouds assemble. But everyone agrees that if it does pour down, at least it'll make for a great muddy mosh pit.
This is nuts.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
It's nuts, and you rip up the rule book and you start all over again.
The concert's co-producer, Peter Wynne, and John Farnham have worked on big, challenging shows before, like the concert for Rwanda. But logistically, this is something again.
What do you think the Dili concert means to the soldiers?
Well, what I hope it means is that they are respected, applauded, congratulated, loved and thanked for what they've been doing over here. They've really done a great job. I would find it difficult to explain to my family or my best friends what I felt when I got off the aeroplane and we were being driven in an armoured personnel carrier through the streets of Dili with soldiers bristling with arms, looking at children and adults that had been in this horrendous situation.
Our part in it is so small, but if it takes their mind off things for a day, it gives them some entertainment. And I think it's good for Australian morale in general, and the impact troops who are here. I feel really honoured to be here.
You can feel it in the air, you can touch it. It's as strong as the smell of the burning buildings that permeate this place everywhere. There's excitement. A lot of blokes, a lot of people, a lot of personnel, a lot of military personnel who've been putting in for months are looking forward to the scant bit of bloody entertainment we're going to throw in front of them.
The Farnham brothers. I'm the oldest.
Amazing to be here and 2020 amongst them. These guys are just sterling. Amazing job, amazing people.
This concert gives a very good chance for the soldiers to know there is support back home and that they're being cared for about over Christmas.
I was saying earlier in other media commitments that Muddy Waters toured here in 1964, and he found it very difficult to discipline his blokes because they go a bit silly in Dili. But Johnny Farnham has instituted $1,000 for every bum note.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. And I know the soldiers have geared these guys up. This is fantastic.
I can really feel the excitement. The soldiers seem to be really excited, and the people that live here too are very excited. And I'm excited. I can't wait.
There's been this outpouring of public support for the job that the soldiers and the sailors and the airmen and women have been doing. They've been doing a fantastic job. And it's that sort of support from home which reminds these soldiers who are a long way from their loved ones that they're well appreciated. And I can't imagine a better way for us to have that reminder right there than to have these wonderful artists come here and devote their time to show us that Australia remembers us and Australia appreciates the effort we're putting in.
We're going into a third world country, into a war zone, into a country that has absolutely no infrastructure left whatsoever. We've got to bring everything with us, from generators through to roofing to flooring. I mean, we have nothing.